Inside a courtroom, there is one moment that sways a jury more than any other. It's the moment a confident eyewitness sits on the stand, raises a hand, and points a finger directly at the defendant. We naturally assume that human memory functions like a tape recorder. When a witness looks a jury in the eye and swears they are absolutely certain about what they saw, we treat that unwavering confidence as definitive proof of the truth. But starting in the 1990s, the legal system collided with an objective, scientific metric. DNA testing allowed groups to re-examine decades of old convictions. When researchers analyzed what went wrong in those reversed cases, one specific factor towered above every other cause combined. Mistaken eyewitness identification showed up in a large majority of the DNA exoneration cases. Sincere, compelling people were looking at the wrong suspect and feeling complete certainty. That single disconnect has put innocent people behind bars for decades, proving our minds can be utterly convinced and completely wrong at the exact same time. This courtroom collision happens because our legal tradition relies on a flawed biological premise. We ask witnesses to play back the video file of a crime, assuming the footage remains exactly as it was recorded. Psychology shows memory does not record an event, it reconstructs it. Every time you recall a moment, your brain pulls the pieces apart and reassembles them. Because of this, the original file is highly vulnerable. A leading question or a brief conversation can be quietly absorbed into the core memory. To understand why sincere people testify to things that never happened, we must look at the research detailing exactly how false details take root. Start with the laboratory experiment that opened this field. In 1974, psychologist Elizabeth Loftus and her colleague John Palmer set up a test. They showed people film clips of car accidents and then asked them a single question about what they had seen, but they changed one verb. Some participants were asked how fast the cars were going when they hit each other, while others were asked how fast they were going when they smashed into each other. This chart compares speed estimates. The smashed group estimated significantly higher speeds than those who heard hit. A week later, everyone was asked if they saw broken glass. There was none in the film, yet the smashed group was twice as likely to falsely remember seeing it. Researchers now refer to this as the misinformation effect. Over the last 50 years, it has become one of the most rigorously replicated findings in cognitive psychology. That intensely loaded verb reached backward in time and altered what those people believed they had witnessed with their own eyes. In the 1990s, Loftus went further still, testing whether an entirely fabricated memory could be planted from scratch, with no real underlying event at all. In the Lost in the Mall study, her team gave subjects a packet of childhood stories supplied by their own families. Tucked among the real memories was one completely invented story about a time the subject had gotten lost in a shopping mall as a child. Roughly a quarter of the participants eventually came to believe this fabricated narrative was completely real. Participants actively populated the lie with their own vivid sensory details, the specific layout of the mall, the rising fear, and the face of the stranger filling in the gaps around the false premise. If a perfectly convincing false memory can be constructed in an afternoon lab session using nothing but a suggestive conversation, a memory formed under the stress, adrenaline, and confusion of witnessing a real crime is far more vulnerable, not less. This brings us back to the modern courtroom. To resolve the gap between the totally confident witness and the objective DNA evidence, the legal system has traditionally treated confidence and accuracy as the exact same thing, largely because they feel identical from the inside, but they are distinct properties. This graphic shows the necessary separation. When a witness says, "I am absolutely certain," that feeling is a property of the memory, exactly as it exists right now, after however many times it has been recalled, discussed, and reshaped. It is not a reliable signal of the original truth. Recognizing this, some police departments are changing their procedures. Many have moved to double-blind lineup administrations, where the officer running the lineup doesn't know who the suspect is, removing the chance that their body language could subconsciously nudge a witness toward a specific face. Inside the courtroom, some jurisdictions now allow expert psychological testimony during trials. This ensures juries hear the science on memory reliability before they weigh a witness's absolute certainty. None of this means eyewitnesses are useless, and it certainly does not mean witnesses are intentionally lying when they get it wrong. Human memory is a construction, assembled fresh every time. The mind we trust most is constantly editing its own past, meaning a confident memory is a story touched by everything that happened since the moment it was formed.
Follow along for more of what the actual research says about how the mind we trust most can still get the story wrong.